Mic check 1 2 1 2.
My sweet waifu.
Is that you?
One way or another.
Mic check. Mic check. Waifu. Aran The Lost Homie. Is that you?
What's good? It's Aran The Lost Homie, as my man Polo said. I'm from the Blxxk Anime Podcast.
Hey, the cross.
Where we talk about anime, manga, webtoons, the culture,
Yes, sir.
all that. Glad to be here with my man's Polo and Telly on the mic check. Waifu. Listen to him all the time.
Yes, sir.
And we're glad to be here. So let's see. I don't know what to say. Really, my favorite anime.
let's we got you. We'll launch you up.
My favorite anime. I put that out there is Trigun. It's old
Okay.
school.
A Trigun. Okay.
Trigun.
Yeah.
My man.
Fashion Stampede is literally the GOAT.
Thank you. Some respect to that bad name.
One of the GOAT's main
like,
characters.
that's probably like the first old anime I could think of that I watched, like 98. Like, because I think the first one I watched is Full Metal Alchemist, but when you watch that Trigun that first time, it's just
it's special.
It's different for me.
It's definitely special. We're going to get into all that a little bit later, but we got a few things to get through before we roll into that. I'm, of course, joined by King Teliano, as always, and Mic Check Waifu. And now, Polo, you can follow our social media at Mic Check Waifu, and you can follow Blxxk Anime Podcast at Blxxk Anime, spelled with XX in between the L and the K. So remember that. Follow them on Twitter as well. And as always, the Mic Check Waifu podcast is brought to you by Lube Complex. Go to lubecomplex.com and use the offer code WAIFU to save on your entire cart. And thank you so much to our Patreon supporters, the producers, Monique Williams, Connor, Chris Goodywin, D Prince, and Lisa. Thank y'all so much
for a minute.
Yeah, she's been rocking with us for a good minute. So thank y'all so much for supporting the podcast. And now let's get into it. So Aran, what do you do, bro?
So I'm a student right now.
Hey,
in college. One last semester, and then we done. We done that. I can finally stop having homework.
Yeah, that's dope.
Thank you. I guess I'll give a little background on the Blxxk Anime Podcast. Usually it's me, my man's Bo. Bo has some personal things going on, so he has left as a permanent co-host, but he still be around. So right now we are in season 2 of our podcast, and season 2 is all about engagement. It's all about getting around, checking out with our homies from other podcasts, jumping on, jumping off, doing that. We're trying to really spread the influence, make the web. And so that's what we're doing right now. Blxxk Anime, we trying to be everywhere.
I'm definitely enjoying season 2 so far, for sure.
It's facts. It's a lot of fun. That most recent episode that you did with Worst Gen was lit.
A lot of energy.
It was a lot of fun listening to.
Being with them, Worst Gen is different. They put you through the ringer. But I love it though. I love it. Their energy is amazing. GB, Sensei, Rome, they really came on here and did their thing, and I'm on here with y'all, but y'all gonna be on here with me in a month or so, just so y'all know.
Of course. Yeah.
So I'm definitely happy, man. Happy to be here. Happy to be doing Blxxk Anime, all that.
We both down to go on the Blxxk Anime Podcast and talk about how Black Clover is the best anime ever.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh man, hey, look,
I don't know about that.
This is the Black Clover Slender Trio right here.
Yeah, you know.
We did 3 Nights of the Apocalypse when it come to Black Clover.
Straight up. People know how we feel about Black Clover. So if y'all like Black Clover, I'm sorry. There's gonna be some slight slander jabs that I always throw at Black Clover, especially with the topic we got today. And I can't wait to get to that. But you said your favorite anime is Trigun. So what do you look for mainly in your anime? Like, what is the main focus for Aran when you go in watching an anime? What is he looking for in his anime?
The first thing I'm really looking for is this probably says say animation. I love animation, but I love a unique animated style. So when I talk about Trigun, like I said, Trigun is the first older anime I watched. Like, it was even before Cowboy Bebop, all that. I love that aesthetic of that classic anime, the fully 2D drawn. That aesthetic is very beautiful. Yeah, and then as you get more deep, and as you get deeper in the anime and you start trying new things, you get down to like stuff like Fate, the Fate Zeros, all that, which that beautiful, gorgeous, that's the 3D animation that they do is so amazing. Yes, and then so I love that unique anime style. So that's probably the main thing I look for. And then second is story progression. if you can get me hooked to your story, sometimes I don't give a fuck about your characters. If you can just get me hooked on that story where I'm like, what's going to happen next? A lot of times the characters just fade for me. But then number 3 will be characters. But that's like my top 3 when it comes down to it.
Okay, but characters take a backseat to like the world and stuff.
Yeah, because I feel like if you have a really good world, your characters will be able to shine in that world.
Yeah, they don't have a choice but to shine if the world is amazing, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
I like that.
One of the things he said kind of reminds me of I literally just started watching this anime yesterday. It's called Coppelion, and it's about the world coming into this apocalypse. Like I'm assuming it's nuclear bombs. I only watched the first episode, but I had started watching it like way back in 2013, and I was like, love the animation style. It's super dope. Like the world itself is that like what you like in Grimgar, that super soft painted background.
That's my shit.
But the characters, they have that same kind of like aesthetic to them, but they're with this very thick, heavy black outline. Like the characters stand out really well. And the idea of the story really kind of draws me in. I don't know where it's headed yet because I'm only 1 episode in.
You're right.
But it looked really good. And I'm like, that kind of sunk me. It's like what he said. The animation got me want to look at more.
Is it a new anime?
No, it's from 2013, bro.
Oh, you said 2013. Damn. Okay. What's it called again?
Coppelion.
Yeah.
I'll share it with you. It's Coppelion.
Dope.
I ain't never heard of that one.
Yeah, I'm telling you, searching the site that shall not be named.
Ugh.
They just pop up.
That site that shall not be named. I never want to show love to that site. But I mean,
struggle.
You can catch some shit on there that's like that you would never even think about watching because you won't find it on Funimation or Crunchyroll. So, I mean, I guess it gets some credit for that, but fuck that site. Straight up, dude. Oh man. Yeah, so I mean, I guess I can bring us right into our topic. So the topic is the plot or the world versus character development. Like, how important is that? So if the characters don't have to be like great to you, Aaron, right? If they don't have to be great, what in the world has to be just, I don't know, like I guess the question I'm trying to ask is plot versus character development, or world versus character development. Why is the world more important than the character development?
Well, I say that just because I feel as though when you have certain anime where the plot or necessarily the world isn't necessarily the best, the characters kind of, it's hard for a character to carry an entire show. You know what I'm saying? Like I put some examples down. I'm gonna put this one, Durara. I don't know if y'all seen that. Yeah. It was on Netflix for a minute.
That's a classic.
That show, I hate that show.
What?
I hate that show. I finished it though. That show necessarily. I finished it because I needed to know how it ended. That's why I finished it, because the plot, the story with the gangs going on, and then they had the Doulahan, and I finished it because of that. Everybody else, like, there's probably, I think, like maybe 2 characters in there that I really liked, that I was like, okay, yeah, finishing it for them. But everybody else I didn't really care about. I just want to know how it ended. I want to know how this plot was going to finish, and that's what really carried me through that show. Like, yeah, and so that's what I really mean when I say that. Plus, I feel as though we in a lot of anime we get one or the other. We get a really good plot with okay characters, maybe that one really good character, or we get really good characters, and you're like, what the hell is the plot? Like, you don't really even understand. But every once in a while we get that one where it's both. Like I even go down to like Demon Slayer. I like Demon Slayer's plot necessarily, even though it's kind of flat. But the characters, I'm sorry, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and what's the dude's name? I don't remember the dude's name right now. Zenitsu. I don't care for them. Inosuke is the only one I really feel like showed any character development at all throughout the entire show. And I'm like, but I like the idea with the demons. I like the idea with him trying to find and kill the head demon with all that. And I also love that episode where the demon just goes crazy and just starts killing everybody. Yeah. Like all those plot points, I feel like really is the only reason, one of the main reasons, and animation. I gotta mention that for Demon Slayer. But that's what really carried me through the show.
So yeah, for me, I mean, Tanjiro is the only redeeming character about the show, because you kind of saw from when he was literally a boy with wood chopping axe, throwing it at at Giyu, but like I completely feel that because the rest of those characters in that show is god awful. Like I hate Zenitsu. Sorry, Tell. I do not.
I mean, hey, it is what it is.
I used to rock with Inosuke, but like he started to die
Got
quickly.
annoying at the end. Yeah.
Yes, he died mad quickly. But like some of the supporting characters, them pillars looking like they're gonna be something special. So I don't know. Maybe later on it's gonna be a little bit better. But no, you were absolutely right about that. The plot of Demon Slayer is way more, I guess, tangible than the fucking characters because. A little drop the ball on that one.
And Nezuko also, got voice actor of the year. So I mean,
oh my gosh, that's still so crazy, man.
I heard that on your podcast, and I'm like, man, what she did? Because I didn't even pay attention to that. Like for real. I'm like, she did what? She literally said
she
two
was
things.
nominated.
It don't make sense.
But so kind of going off what you said, Aaron, right? You were talking about the plot and the characters and how those things kind of tie it together for you, right? So I remember you said something about for your anime of the decade, you said something about Your Lie in April. Now, I just watched Your Lie in April last year for the first time because Polo and a couple other guys told me, how intense and how great it was.
Yeah.
And do you consider, like, for instance, the situation that our main character in Your Lie in April was in with his newfound person and his mom, is that actually world building for you, or is that just like actual character development?
Well, since we're talking about a slice of life, I believe it. I call it world building because like slice of life, they world build differently than you're not like your shonen or action series.
Straight up.
Like the world building is in the character development because as they grow as characters, then the world opens up. Especially speaking specifically to Your Lie in April. If he wouldn't have never grown as a character, he would have never gone out into the world as much as he did if he never met her.
It's true. Like
she brought him out of his shell. She made him, spoilers. That show's old.
Yeah, it's fine. Our listeners watched it.
She's the one that helped him, play the piano again, like and actually hear the music. She's the one that helped him. Like I remember when I first watched it. And you got to the point where he had the flashback again about his mom screaming at him like that, and you actually hear the end of it. You actually hear the end where she's like, "I just want him to, be able to live without me."
Yep.
You know, what I mean, you can argue that was really bad parenting because it was
horrible,
but horrible parenting. Yeah. But that was her dream. Like she was being hard on him because she wanted him to have something. When she was gone, and so like, but you don't get that kind of world. You don't get that development of the world without the character development that he had inside. So as a slice of life, I feel like that's what happens in most slice of lives, my opinion. Like you have that shut in who meets somebody and then they have a world.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I just think me personally, I'm gonna go off of me personally. I think characters are way more important in the world. And I'm gonna bring up the perfect example. The characters in Black Clover are god awful. Like they're terrible. Everybody fucking I personally hate Asta. I hate the entire I mean, I guess it's not even like necessarily the characters. There are some characters I do like, but it's only because like of their kind of quirky personalities. But like I can't stand Asta. I fucking hate how they develop their characters, how you get in a super intense situation in Black Clover and everybody just get the spell that they need to win in that particular situation at the perfect time, and it just don't make any sense because they're professionals at this spell that they just learned out of fucking nowhere. And that irritates me. But that world, like the whole, like the concept of their magic system is dope. The way the world is actually laid out isn't bad, and that's what kept me watching it for. I think I watched 116 episodes of this bullshit. But like that's what's
farther than me.
Yeah, like the world is what kept me into it, but the character is not so much. And then, like for instance, now they got this whole villain, and I saw you listen to Getting the Mecha podcast. That podcast is awesome, by the way. Shout out to him. But and they were talking about like villains and their arcs. Like Black Clovers did the one thing that the show was doing right was the villains. They just completely turned that into a typical like shonen, I'm evil for evil's sakes, and it's even more trash than it ever was. But I mean, I just want to put that out there. I think characters are more important because like they carry the show. In my personal opinion, like they can literally carry a show. Like Re:Zero What's ReZero without
Asher
those
Lost in
characters?
Space.
Asher Lost in Space.
When I super, that's what I'm saying. Like, although I may think the world's more important, I can understand like when a characters can carry the world. Like, I feel like it's a scale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
like at one point,
it's true.
the scale's going to be tipped. And I gotta disagree with you on Black Clover. Look.
What's up? What's
All
up?
right, because I don't like the story either. I don't like the world of Black Clover. Okay. So y'all might have heard me say this before, but I equate Black Clover very similar to Fairy Tale. All right,
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
And I'm not like, if people, some people, I don't know if Black Clover fans gonna chew me out, but I'm not saying they're exactly equal. I'm not saying none of that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you can do personality trait to personality trait.
Right.
If I'm be honest, I like Fairy Tale's cast better. That's a conversation for another. But my point saying is with Black Clover, I feel as though when it comes to like the world versus character development, I feel the world necessarily, it was interesting to me at first. That's why I started watching. I remember when the preview first came out. The previews came out, I was hyped.
Right.
I seen them previews was fire for Black Clover.
That's where I spent all that money.
I thought it was about to change the game.
Right.
And then it came out, and my man's he reads the manga. He had to tell me to keep watching it. I got to like episode 15. I was like, bro, I'm done. He said, nah, just keep watching. It gets better. Nah, just keep watching. It gets better. And I'm like, and I feel like it was a weaker magic system than Fairy Tale. Like it was weaker. I feel like it was held together weaker than that show. And then when you got to, that demon fight where the animation was just horrendous.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I like not. The only character I really like in that show is Noelle. Noelle's the only character that continually failed and literally had to work from the ground up to be a good character. Everybody else, it was just like, oh, okay, he's good now. Oh, Asta working out his life, get the demon sword. Oh, he's good now.
Exactly.
Like,
See, yeah. That's the same point I was making, man. And they even did Noelle dirty. Like she got this she got like almost like the same power as her mother. And she's just a major pro at it now. She's like God tier level. And it just don't feel right because she worked for all of her shit. And now all of a sudden she don't have to. Like that shit didn't sit right with me.
Charmy had an epic moment though when she did her wolf transformation.
That shit was garbo in the show anyway.
In the manga, I thought it was hard, bro. I was like, I can't believe that this little cute little, but it made sense because you got the wolf in sheep's clothing. It's like, and it wasn't like she gained this magical power out of nowhere. She always had it. She just never had a reason to fully go. Like we always saw Charmy as like useless, basically. Hey, just eat this to gain your magical power back. Yeah. But she was like, well, okay, I'm tired of this crap. Y'all messing with my people. Let's show you something real. And to me, that was the most like. That was a part of the story that I could relate to because they finally showed something that really to me like made sense. Outside of like, hey, I got a book and I got this magic power because I'm in a crunch, you know? Exactly.
And they just did her dirty because her animation for that particular reveal was, oh my God, it was worse than that fight Aaron was just talking about. It was bad.
Oh no.
She looked like she was straight out of a seventh grader sketchbook. Like it was awful, man.
And the worst part is I like Charmy. I like her power necessarily. I also liked her arc. Whenever her whole thing with the meal eating princess, I thought she was a very good comedic character who had the potential to be stronger. I just don't feel like it pays off enough.
No, it doesn't. The show is just bad, and I just feel sorry because I know I'm gonna get some hate on every time I talk about Black Clover on the show. I always get like 2 or 3 tweets from people that's like, but Black Clover this, but it's bad, bro. You can't convince me otherwise.
I think the best part about all of this is the fact that none of this is unjustified slander. I think we got justified reasons here.
Yep.
So like, if anyone wants to try and say anything, come back to episode 33, the Black Anime Takeover, and that's you know exactly where we stand with it.
It's awful.
Plus, I mean, we've all tried that. I got to like episode 80, 90. I went back to it after the demon fight. I didn't watch it again for about 6 months. Yeah. Then I started watching it again for the best animated year episode we had at the end of season 1. Yeah. And I tried to watch. I tried. I just couldn't get it. I just didn't draw me in.
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow right there.
I mean, there is one truth though.
What's up?
Asta gets the hose.
Straight up, man. Straight up.
One truth.
Man, I don't understand it, and I don't understand why he's so clueless. He better get one of them and chill out on what's her name, sister sister, what's her? I forgot her name.
She don't even want him.
She don't even want him.
it.
Yeah, man, he tripping, man. He bugging because Noel's a good one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, or the other shawty that runs the tavern with the little brothers and sisters.
Oh, true. I forgot about her.
She was a little thick. She was a little thick. I was like, oh, okay.
I thought she had all those kids at first when I first saw her. I'm like, yeah,
Waifu.
I'm cool, but nah, she's definitely waifu for sure. And what's another show that does world well, but does terrible characters?
I think people are gonna disagree with me on this, and I'm okay with that. I got Angel Beats, and I know people are gonna disagree with me on that. I like Angel Beats' premise. I love its premise so well. Oh my gosh! When I started watching it, I thought it was a music anime because my man told me it was.
Same.
It's not. It's not a music anime. Don't let anybody lie to you. It's not. There's like 3 songs.
And they're quick songs too.
And they're quick. Like it's not even no. So I started watching Angel Beats, and I mean, at first I like the character. I don't think the characters are bad.
Yeah.
I think the characters are okay. They're so. But the idea behind it, the premise of they're like in a purgatory and they gotta go heaven or hell. And then when you see like the man's whole story about how he was saved, like I like that whole world is really good.
It is, man. You got me hyped.
The characters are just so. The characters are of the convenience of the world.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Damn, no, you're right, because like when I think about Angel Beats, the only thing I can think about is that premise you just mentioned. Because the characters are just not memorable. Like I don't remember them as I should. But
exactly,
it's crazy because I'm thinking about it. I can't even remember. But that world and that story was crazy, and that's why I always try to get Tel to watch it because it reminds me of Death Parade a little bit.
And I love Death Parade.
You know what? I didn't even think about it. That does give that Death Parade feel.
Yeah, it
definitely does.
But so talking about that, because I had another example, right? Death Parade, I thought the characters were amazing, but we don't know anything about the world. Like we know about their little small world itself and what they kind of do, but they don't really build up when we don't get too much explanation on how far their world really goes.
Well, I mean, it's not really that much of that world. It's just that particular level, you know what I'm saying, of where you go, either heaven or hell. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
but we do know there's progression because
that's true.
They are changing and the head is trying to get further than where he is. So it's like we do know that there's progression. Right. We just don't know how far it progresses, and mostly because we only got what we
one season.
What we got.
One season. Yeah.
No matter how good it was.
That's
you know what?
Wow.
You know what? That's a good point. That's a good point. I was about to disagree with you, Telly, too. But you're right.
I mean, I got another one because I've watched both Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, right? And the original Full Metal Alchemist, I think, did a better job at world building, especially when you lead into the movies. But
Telly,
the characters in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood are superior. Like the characters are better. You like the characters more in Brotherhood than you do in regular Full Metal Alchemist.
That's a fact.
I need you in a few discussions, Telly, because people be like, you be trying to tell me I'm crazy.
No, that's not crazy.
You're trying to tell me I'm crazy.
That's on point. I mean, I couldn't even watch that much of Alchemist, or not a Brotherhood, because of I feel like they skipped a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like missed. Mm-hmm. It was missing quite a bit from the original, because all I knew was the original growing up. Like Toonami, that's all I could watch was that original, and that shit was the way they built that world. Even in just the intro alone, it was always so good. Yeah, it was so good.
And I watched Fullmetal Alchemist first, and then Brotherhood. I mean, I feel like you probably all did.
Yep.
And so when I watched Fullmetal Alchemist first, I feel like probably one of the few people. I like that idea how the door led to like a different universe. Mm-hmm. I thought all that was that whole plot, the whole world of that was just so immense and like so expansive. And then you got the Brotherhood, and it was just like the truth. It's like the truth. But
true.
But Edward and Alphonse and I love the way they ended the characters. The sins. They are the sins. Yeah. and Brotherhood better than they did in the OG. And so I can understand people like Brotherhood, but I also hate people trying to slander the original. Like y'all can't tell me that world did not pull you in when you first watched it.
No, that original.
And I said the same thing.
Live. Yeah.
If the original wasn't good enough, I don't think the Brotherhood remake would have thrived as much.
Nope.
Because people had to enjoy the original to even want to give Brotherhood a chance, and they jumped in Brotherhood thinking, "Oh, this might be an additional season or something like that," and realized this is a retelling of the story, rehashing it and giving you a different perspective of it, basically, and kind of changing some things.
Right.
So, I mean, I get it, but you know, I'm just gonna say, like, I personally enjoyed Full Metal Alchemist more, and I get crapped on like that, shit on that for that a lot. But I mean, it is what it is, bro.
But with Polo, I think what Polo said, like, feel like it's missing parts. Like when you watch Full Metal Alchemist, the OG, like it explains everything. What happens in the explains everything further. What happens with that one village, the first village they go to with the fake king or like that.
Which is when I started. Yeah.
It explains that arc fully necessarily of what happened.
Ishvalans.
It like explains perfectly what happens when Greed, I think, takes over, and then she shapeshifts and then goes to ruin. While in Brotherhood, it's kind of like a footnote, like they go back to it, basically just kind of for Edward to finally meet his father. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's like really weird. While in the original, that was a whole story. Like we saw the battle like go on there. We saw the troops roll in and just start murdering people. Like we saw all that. So
it was like a couple of less chapters, I guess, in Brotherhood, which is fine in some aspects, right? Like for instance, me and Tel is rewatching the ReZero director's cut, and I literally had to go back and just watch the whole thing all over again because the director's cut only got like 4 episodes in. It's man, that show is probably number 1 on my list now, Tel.
We love
number 1.
So it's a big fact.
Yeah, it took the place of Clannad. Let me tell you why. Clannad was number 1 for its impact. What it did to me, it completely changed the way I watched anime because I was a fucking jarhead. All I watched was shonen anime. All I wanted to see was fighting. If it wasn't any fighting anime in my anime, I didn't like it. It's whatever. I saw Clannad. It changed the way I watched anime. It changed the way I view storytelling in anime. But ReZero all around just took number 1 for me, dog. It's way too good, dude. It's way too good. If you want to talk about characters, story building, and world, like the way they do that with just him dying over and over and over again, and him trying to piece together these puzzles makes that show probably top tier when it comes to storytelling and even character development. Like, I love that shit. It's number 1 in my top 5 list.
I always talk about when that cat lifted his head about the building and said, "Die just like sleep just like my sister or my daughter."
Yep. And
basically he just turns into ice and then cracks. I was like, that is like the hardest moment. I'm like, yo, that made me.
I thought the show was over.
Yeah,
I was like,
because
like credits don't get rolling, all that. And I was like, oh, what's going on?
It's wild, man. It's watching it again, dog. I'm sitting here in my chair, like, man, what the fuck is going on? I literally spent the entire day today because I was off of work. Spent the entire day today watching the entire season. I'm like, man, this show is crazy, man. It's crazy. How and we about to get a season 2. Oh,
we waited a long time for season 2. I haven't watched the director's cut yet. I'm kind of waiting for it all to come out.
Yeah,
I'll probably just like take like a sad because I've already seen it, so like I already know what's going to happen. But I know they added a few extra scenes to each episode, and they like remastered the animation, and all that.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks good as fuck.
For my isekai list, is definitely top 3.
Man, yeah.
It's definitely but dang.
You gotta,
I don't know.
When you rewatch
Subaru used to blow my shit.
Man.
Straight
up. You're not wrong. And he still does that to me, but that's just how much I care about that character. I feel like he's a fucking idiot most of the time, but I'm like, yo, when he starts to figure it out, and that's literally towards the last 2 episodes of the goddamn season, he becomes it's just incredible. Cause like he takes everything that he learns and he puts it in the right perspective thanks to that Rem and Subaru scene that pissed me off ever so much. When he
Does it happen to be called character progression?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yep, straight up.
He's like, Rem, I can't go with you. I'm like, yo, what the hell?
Exactly.
What do you mean, my
What you
dude?
mean? She's right here.
Oh, I would. Have y'all seen the what's it called? The version that we have it on YouTube. What's it called? The what's it called? The fan made dub joint. What is it called? That is the funniest one, bro. The ReZero fan made dub joint.
I haven't seen that though.
Rooster Teeth or whatever. Yo, it is hilarious.
I'm gonna have to check that shit out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
It made me appreciate ReZero even more. I think I went back and rewatched it again after I watched that. I was like, yo, this is hilarious.
Yeah. Man, I can't believe it took me so long because I haven't rewatched ReZero since like 2016 when it dropped. So like when I watched that director's cut, I'm like, man, this shit does look absolutely gorgeous. And then when I only saw it was the 4 episodes they got out now, I'm like, all right, I can't wait. So let me just go ahead and finish it up just to see how I like it. And yeah, it's top tier. It's top tier. What's your so your top 3 isekai is, I'm sure it's ReZero. I listened to y'all pods and I know it's Sword Art. But what else?
So my number 3 would probably be Konosuba.
I thought you was gonna go Excel World.
But what, say it again. Which one?
Excel World. You ever seen that?
No, I haven't seen. So the 2 I haven't seen yet. Yeah, I know it's good, but you know, I'm a slave to the cycle. I think I said this in the last one too. Slave to the cycle, and there's 2. I haven't watched all of Dot Hack yet. And I haven't watched the Cell World. I know they're both good, but I've seen the other ones. I saw the one. I got like a whole list. But I saw. I've seen a few of them. I saw Log Horizon. I've seen that one. Yeah,
that one's good too.
I've seen the one with the. Oh my gosh. The dude's like an overlord or something like that. What's that called?
Oh, Overlord.
Overlord. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Rise of the Shield Hero.
Rise of the Shield Hero. Rise of the Shield is definitely it. Depending on the second season go, it could reach top 3, but they gotta keep the edge. I like the edge in that.
I know. I like the edge more than I like.
Edge.
Yeah, they lost it towards the end of that.
I mean, I feel like that's the only. It's the only place it could go though, which kind of sucks.
You're right. No, you're 100% right.
At some point, they gotta accept him. But I don't want them to. I need the
exactly.
Edge.
My man.
The edge is the best part of that show.
It was. But, it was mad different. That's why.
Exactly. I didn't never think that they'd go that way. You don't really see that that often, especially in isekais.
Right.
Isekais use that power fantasy, and that was the exact opposite.
Yeah.
That's Tell's top. What number is that?
That was number 5.
Yeah. Made it in your top 5.
So. Speaking of isekai, I know it's not technically an isekai, but it's kind of in that same area. When me and Monique watched Erased last year, and I know we're talking about plot, right? So, what do we think about that though? Where you basically have two plot lines in two different time frames, but they kind of converge into one. Like, I think Erased is a great example of, making that look good and making it work and successful in general.
You ever seen Erased, Aaron?
Of course.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know. I think that show is carried by the characters though. Because it's not really much world. Though. Is it? You think so?
It's probably not much world. I agree with that.
I think it's both though, because again, it's like I'll put that in the slice of life category because it has elements.
Yeah.
And horror too. I don't know really where to put that.
Right. Psychological.
That's a conversation.
Horror too. I don't really know where to put that at.
Yeah.
But you got to think about us like it's a character driven show.
Right.
So you know what I mean. It's not necessarily plot driven. It's necessarily character driven.
Yep.
And I feel like it balances these two really well. Like how Telly was saying, like how it intersects these two different timelines. That's true. And yet we get a conclusion that's satisfying to all the viewers. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is one of those few anime where we all can agree. It's like, I love the plot. I love that was going on in the world, and also love the characters and how they developed. And I feel like the characters enhance the world, and while the world's systems enhance the characters.
Yeah, because his rewind shit did definitely enhance that quite a bit. But you know what's doing it well though, with both the world and the characters?
What's up?
Darwin's Game, dogs.
Oh, that's true.
It's killing it right now with this world and these characters. Like both of them are upper echelon like tier shit. Like
I need my man to start killing people though.
Oh, I know. I know.
I didn't expect this last episode to kind of end how it did.
Straight up. Let's talk about that real quick. Why didn't he kill him?
Cause he a punk, dog. He ain't about it. He ain't about it.
He's not gonna ever be about it though. He's never gonna kill nobody.
He's just about to build this all-star team of people, I guess.
You already seen it. I watched the OP last time and I was like, okay. I see where this is going now.
Spoilers. Yeah, the OP spoil people, man. Straight up.
That's how you gonna watch it. But it made sense. Like necessarily at convenience of anime MC characters. You know, what I mean, he's making the relationships with the right people.
Straight up.
How you gonna make a relationship with the dude that canvassed the entire building
straight up, man,
with trees and was killing everybody and taking control of people's bodies?
Everybody though.
How does that just happen?
And then we get a little slight backstory. Oh, I'm sick. I'm dying anyway, so kill me.
Yeah, I got a heart disease.
Yeah.
Oh, if you kill me, my daughter's gonna be left alone.
Right, right. Okay, now I get it.
Now I'm supposed to feel bad for you. Now I'm supposed to
yeah. I straight up get it now.
You killed 10 people in this building already. You want me to feel bad, bro?
Yeah. What y'all think about this world though? Is it like, do y'all think these people are actually like dying or are they going somewhere else? Because that's the thought I had when I watched it.
So the way I perceive it is like, if you teleporting someone away bit by bit, there's no way they stand alive, right?
Yeah.
Like if we think about how that actually works, like if you move in chunks of a person, then you can't stay alive from that.
I guess that's true. I forgot.
But let's put it back in the fact that this is an anime. I think it's actually very possible.
From their hands, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's very possible, obviously, that they could just be transporting these people and they're not actually dying, but they're being used for other purposes, you know?
Right. I don't know.
Because we don't see any blood unless they actually get killed.
Right.
I feel like we see hints. We're seeing hints of the bigger world.
Yeah.
That's coming, especially with this event, especially how like you have to look through your camera and then like you see this alternate world that's in ruins.
Yeah. So
I feel as though that's definitely going to come into play with them figuring out exactly what Darwin's game really is, and we get that look into how. Because I feel like Darwin's game is one of those that tackle multiple issues with the whole rich people watching them kill each other and
exactly
betting on them and all. Yeah, that type of stuff. So I really think we're going to see this. Like, I'm not sure if they died or not, but they're definitely not in comfort.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think they're in comfort.
I don't know what's going to happen next in this show, and that's what the fuck I love about it so much, man. I just don't know what's going to happen. Like. And now I know he building his team to fight that one dude that's slicing people up.
Yeah, he got like 30 rings over there.
Yeah, but like
looking like Sonic the Hedgehog about to super Sonic.
Yeah, but I can't tell you what's gonna happen next after this battle royale little arc is over. I don't know. I like this show a lot. This show is definitely my hit this season.
Sure. I was talking to I think I was talking to GB or somebody and he asked me he's like what should I watch? Not like Darwin's game.
Yeah,
first thing I think of. Overall right now it's the best series this season so far.
Yeah,
there's nothing else I could think of that's like up there.
Haikyuu.
See, okay. I haven't watched Haikyuu yet because
me either.
I gotta wait till it ends. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna get caught in the middle of a tournament arc having to wait week to week. Ain't no. I watched season 3. I said I can't. No, it's not happening again.
I'm on season 2 of Haikyuu right now, and I think legit after I'm finished, this might actually make top 5 on my list.
It's top 5 on my list.
It's so good, Polo. I know you ain't started yet, but it's
nobody tweeted me, man. I forgot.
Good, bro. I was about to tweet you, and I was about to text you too. Like, yo, this is too good.
I gotta start Haikyuu, man.
And the thing is, it's the dub cast and the sub cast are amazing.
What?
They're both really good. I've seen Bo watches it too, and when I watched it in dub, he was like, "Nah, I couldn't watch the dub." Bro, the dub is bro. I was crying laughing.
All right,
it was hilarious.
I didn't even know they had a dub.
Yep, it's on Netflix. Netflix only has season 1 and 2.
It's on Verve too.
It's a Verve. There's season 1 and 2. Season 3. I had to what I watched that on. What I watched season 3 on Crunchyroll. I watched season 3 on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
And then they have the OVA, which is Land versus Sky, and that's how the other 2 competitors from the training camp get in, because it's like the prefecture, the other two prefectures get into the tournament that they're about to be in season 4 right now. So,
all right, I'm gonna watch it.
It's like it's a shonen masterpiece. I gotta be honest. It's it's one of my favorite. Yes, it's one of my favorite shonens. Like,
man,
season 3. Best tournament arc ever.
Everybody from Twitter and Tell have been telling me this show is just so good, and I would love it so much. But I'm just not the sports anime guy. Like I don't. It's not my thing.
I thought the same thing. And then I watched Megalobox and Haikyuu, and I'm changed.
Oh, Megalobox, yeah. Megalobox was a good one. It was one I actually watched. All right, I'm watching Haikyuu. All right, fuck it. For real. I'm not watching nothing
3 weeks
else.
in a row. 3 weeks in a row.
I'm not watching shit else until I start Haikyuu. That's my goal. Shit. All right.
Oh, man.
Y'all got to actually remind me, though.
All right, plus that Haikyuu animation is different. Like, that really... Like as an athlete, because I'm a college athlete and I did sports in high school and all that, and I did them seriously. Like, you know, as an athlete, you watch that and you feel like I felt that in my heart.
So
like I almost cried a few times watching them play.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Like it really be hitting you.
Man, I gotta watch this shit because I'm tired of hearing it. I gotta watch it, man.
It's too good, bro.
I'm down. I'm straight up down. We got anything else on the character development versus plot, or anything anybody watching and want to discuss?
So the last thing I have for like character development and plot, I don't know if y'all seen this one. It's called Hero Mask.
Yeah, I haven't heard of this joint.
It's on Netflix. It's a detective. It's another crime anime necessarily. And I put this down because it's really like your CSIs, your
animated.
No. I mean like live action TV. Like Oxygen, like that. Like it's really like that. But just with a fantasy twist to it. And the reason why I put this down is the characters aren't really developed because it's a crime anime. Like it's really about them solving crimes, and it's not like your usual anime where by solving crimes they have to find some secret within themselves. No, it's not about that. It's not about. It's literally about them like solving this one crime of these masks that allow people to change their face, and like sometimes, and some of them gives them abilities. So that's really what it's about. And the second season does have more deeper character development, but the first one does. It's really just about the plot and the world, and I love Hero Mask.
So it's just like
my favorite crime anime.
It's like a monster of the week, but a crime of the week type deal.
See, so there's one overall plot.
Okay.
That they're chasing. They're chasing this guy who creates these masks, and like I said, these masks. They allow you to put on like any face, and they allow you to like sneak into places, and sometimes they give you these abilities as well. And the thing is, I mean, so like as the season goes on, there is some character development within the villains and within certain characters that's chasing them, but necessarily the main cast isn't. It's not about the development. These characters are used as
conduits for the story.
Yes, conduits for storytelling. As police officers, you go with them as they solve this case. It's a lot like Psychopaths. However, Psychopaths has a lot deeper character development elements.
Right. Yeah, because
this one doesn't have as much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of, I was gonna say, whenever I think of like actual like anime with crime solving, obviously I think of like Detective Conan.
Yeah.
And that's what I would have initially thought. So like, is it similar to Detective Conan, but with like, I guess more fantasy, more sci-fi kind of feel to it?
I don't watch Detective Conan, so I can't really give an opinion on that.
And that's
an oldie. It's an oldie.
If y'all seen any of the Squad episodes, my man's Evan. He loves Detective Conan. That man swears by Detective Conan. And I watched a few episodes. It just wasn't for me. So I mean, he told me the whole plot thing. I realized that it was a grown man transformed to a child. I was like, oh, okay. It's kind of interesting, but his face looked weird. So I was like,
It goes back to the animation. Yeah.
I was like, But like I said, the closest I can think of is Psychopaths. If you haven't seen Psychopaths, it's probably hard to.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Psychopaths is great. So yeah.
Because it's not necessarily like I know in Detective Conan he solves like a lot of different types of issues from like depth, from like murder to like the simple theft and shit like that. And it's not really like that.
Right. Super monster of the week type too. It's like every week it's a different crime
different crime for the Conan. Yeah, it's not like that. It's really like you go in and you're following these detectives as they follow the trail of this crime and that kind of stuff like that. So it's I really liked it. Like I won't swear by a lot of Netflix anime because a lot of Netflix anime ain't good except for the ones that released in Japan first. But Hero Mask is one of them I really swear by. I really enjoyed season 1 and season 2. Both that's really good series.
We're throwing that on the list.
That's definitely. I just did the same thing.
There's like three Netflix anime I actually like. It's like Hero Mask, Knights of Sidonia, and
Knights of Sidonia is real good.
I think that's the only CG anime I like by Netflix. All the other ones are garbage.
I mean, Ajin wasn't too bad though.
I couldn't get past the first episode.
It's the animation in that was god awful though. Like if you can get through that, it looks so gross. But if you can get through that, the story behind it is nutty.
Hey, what I said? You asked me what I look for in my anime.
Yeah.
First thing I said is animation.
Yep.
I haven't been able to finish Ruby or Saint Seiya because of that.
No, I
Ruby
feel that.
gets better over time, but yeah, I can see that.
No, I 100% feel that. Me either.
I agree.
I saw clips from Ruby season 2 and I was like, oh, okay, they changed the regular animation, but that means I have to watch Ruby season 1. That's not happening.
And the Ruby 3 looks better than season 2.
Yeah. You ever seen Grimgar?
No,
man.
You said something about that. I haven't even heard of that.
Watch it, bro. Watch it. It's another isekai.
It's an amazing isekai.
It's crazy, and it's the way the art style is. I think you will like it a lot. I think you would. Right. It's definitely one I recommend. It's in my top 5. It's number 3 in my top 5. Actually, I think it's behind Steins Gate. No, in front of Steins Gate.
Ooh.
But
behind Steins Gate.
Yeah, I think it's behind Steins Gate. I don't remember my top 5 now.
You always got to go back and look at that.
I need to make a new top 5. I haven't switched up my top 5 in a long time.
What's your top 5 now? If you don't mind sharing with our listeners.
All right, so my top 5. Let's see, from bottom to top all time, probably got to be. I deleted that list. I'm gonna do it off memory, I guess. Number 5 probably gonna be Hunter x Hunter.
Okay, I'm already down.
You write down? Oh my gosh, it's gonna change. You ask me next time, it's gonna be different. Number 5 probably Hunter x Hunter. Number 4 probably Fate Unlimited Blade Works.
Oof.
That's just that heat, everything. Number 3 SAO, because that's the granddaddy. That's the granddaddy at Modern Isekai to me. Always will be. SAO season 1. This is something that really put me on. Number 2, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and then number 1 is Trigun.
I like that.
So
that's a clean list.
But it might change, all right? Because
no, you ain't got to change that one. That's a clean list, man. That's a clean list. They got some of the classics. Like we tried to go back and watch when we first started this podcast. We tried to go back and watch Inuyasha, and that shit is not good, dude. It's just some of these old anime, they just don't hold up. But Trigun is definitely one I think can still hold up.
I rewatch it probably at least once or twice a year, and it just like I never get tired of it because the characters are done really well. And Vash Stampede, he's such a great character.
Yeah, man, he's one of the best for sure.
Vash was amazing.
Yeah, man, his whole
written so well.
Yeah, it's a goat. It's a goat. I'm down with that. But all right, let's take this quick break. We're gonna come back with some My Hero discussion. You watched the most recent episode, right, Aaron?
Of course.
Dope. We're gonna get to that right after this song. This time for real is gonna be Teflon Sega. This song is super dope. We always rock with Teflon Sega here because he's from Cleveland. We always gotta represent our own. So we're gonna throw that in there, and we'll see y'all when we get back.
riding on a plane. Space can be a lonely place. You show me the way. Anywhere you go, I'll chase.
And welcome back to Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Hey, do us a favor. Go to teespring.com/stores/Mic Check Waifu Waifu. We just dropped a new hoodie. It's looking clean. People like it. We hope y'all like it.
I got 2 on the way.
Dope. Now it's time for us to discuss the most recent episode of the show we all are currently watching, and that's My Hero. So everything wrapped up real nicely in the last episode, and now it's kind of the backlash from that. So what y'all think?
I think personally, I still feel like Chisaki was a wasted character. I feel like he wasn't used to his fullest extent, just because his ideology. Once he fills out everything that he really wanted to do, it works as a great foil to like hero society.
Yes.
But for him to be taken out so quickly and that's like and so easily, it just is like, come on now. Like, he's definitely somebody who I wanted to see, grow, even if it's in the background of the series, and then come back, because honestly, I could see him and Stain vibing together. Man. I can see him and Stain really vibing. Just that whole idea of Stain not only wanting true heroes to live, and then Chisaki, necessarily manipulating him to be like, oh yeah, I'll help you take out all these fake heroes and keep the true ones. And next thing you know, he turns his back on Eric like that. Like, I could see that development happening. That would have been nice. But I just feel like Chisaki necessarily was a wasted character. But besides that, I do like this change of pace. But it's something that we're used to necessarily with My Hero now. So, we have the intensity and then drop off, the typical shonen way. I don't like that though, necessarily.
I think this overhaul fight should have been episode 24. Or 23, or how it's 24 episodes. So yeah, and I think that overhaul fight should have been like 22 or something like that. Just so we can get more build up with Overhaul and his whole backstory. Because like you said, like, he's just such a great villain up until he's not a villain no more. And when he's not a villain no more, it feels disappointing.
So my thing is that I agree entirely. We had this conversation last episode where we talked about the utilization of Overhaul. Was he utilized properly? And he could have had a much larger impact on the entire series.
Straight up.
Deku and Overhaul could have had an impact that was better than All Might versus All for One. They could have had an impact like that. They could have had their Demon Slayer moment that shook up the internet, but they kind of dropped the ball there. I think this whole season went too fast, personally.
The pacing has been off this whole season.
Yes, man. Yes.
And this is in my manga is my favorite season so far. But right now it's like, yeah, bro, it's not cutting it in the anime. And I don't know if the adaptation was just off, but it just don't feel right. And it, like I said, even now where it is, I feel like the progression, because obviously I've read the manga, this is going a lot faster than I had ever expected it would go. And where it's going to go, I'm interested where the end of the season is going to be. I think everybody's going to be hyped at the end of the season. But where it is now, it's like, I think everybody's disappointed because it really didn't give the right impact. They didn't deliver it properly.
Yeah.
It's Amazon throwing a package at your door and walking away.
Straight up. It's like super weird, man. It just don't feel right. And in this most recent episode, I mean, obviously everybody's trying to get back to their normal lives. And again, this episode, I can't remember it to save my fucking life. And I just watched it yesterday. Like, I don't remember anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so,
one of the things I actually do remember that I actually did like that they did well from the manga is that they did show that once everybody got back to their dorm rooms, they were still kind of in shock from what just happened, Right. That was a cool, like, into the mind of someone who is a hero who saved saved people's lives, but lost someone. Like, I thought that was cool representation. Outside of that, this episode was low key, like, it was
just okay. It's like a transition episode. And I mean, I'm happy that we're getting to see what's his name, Bakugo and Todoroki with their pro hero test or whatever it's called test. But and I'm glad we're getting to see that because I mean they obviously missed. But the biggest problem I've always had with this series is, especially with this season. This season has showed its glaring flaw is that they're trying to show too many characters. They're trying to be everywhere and everything. You can't do that at all times. Right. Having like when we talk about this season, my biggest things, I don't like how much emphasis they put on Red Riot. Yep. I feel like the first Red Riot episode was filler to me. Like I understood its importance. I understood like it showed us the power up bullets and all stuff like that. But you didn't have to show us that. You could have just had us go down there and people use it when they're raiding. Like you could just had to do on that part. You didn't have to do that. If you could have X'd off that Red Riot episode and give us another episode of Mirio fighting Overhaul.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what we wanted.
Yeah, I don't hate this. I don't hate the slideshow necessarily. I don't think it was horrible, but I don't think it was needed.
Straight
you
up.
know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't hate it. I wasn't like, oh, this is really bad, horrible. Oh my gosh, all the people crying on Twitter. But I just feel like we could have X'd that Red Riot episode. We could have X'd maybe two other episodes I can think of, and then added on another episode from Mirio fighting Overhaul, and then added another episode on to when him and Deku was fighting. Yeah. That's like we could have definitely stretched it out, did a little Goku type jump. But I
would have been okay with this season being 14 episodes. Like if that would have meant they would have took out all of that bullshit filler. Yeah, like it just didn't, because it didn't make sense for the situation that it was in. Not that it was bad filler, because it was good storytelling, but it was just put in the wrong places. Like it shouldn't have been where it was.
The second Red Riot episode was different. Go ahead, my fault.
Yeah.
No, you're good. I'm saying they're notorious for that though. Like my favorite fight in the entire My Hero series so far is Todoroki versus Deku, and that fight, like I think was honestly a great fight. But if you remember, a lot of people don't even remember, but they threw a whole backstory about Todoroki getting his face burnt in that scene by his mom, and it cuts into Todoroki going all out on Deku, and then the fight's over in another 30 or 40 seconds. And it's like, I low-key would have just loved to have that entire fight with no stopping in between. That's what they did this entire season. And at first, Polo, I was giving you a hard time because I was like, no, I don't agree with that. I like the backstory. Now I'm seeing it. It's like, I don't want to even go back and watch it because it's like I watched that one fight with Overhaul like 3 times, but everything else it was like, nah, man, I want to see Mirio punch Shizuki a few times, and then everything else is a wrap. I don't want to see nothing else.
Yep.
It was
you're gonna watch 8 minutes of them telling his story, and then you get 3 minutes of the fight. Like, I don't know, it just didn't sit right. Like I said, I don't remember this episode, to be honest. I know it was a lot of cuts between different characters, like Aaron was saying. Or Tail was saying, and I guess that makes sense because it is a look at what happens in the aftermath and how upset they are. But again, it was literally 20 seconds of them sitting on one character, just staring out the window, and then it goes to the next character, and it goes to the next character. I don't know.
It felt like a good. I think personally, it was a good wrap up episode for what had happened in this arc. We see Mirio, still being hopeful.
Yeah, that was the best part.
That was the best part. I really loved that part because we see Deku kind of living in this aftermath of what happened, you know what I mean? And not knowing if he did enough, not necessarily. But I just, any of y'all listen to follow me on Twitter or something like that. I do threads for certain people. And we were talking about this during the break. Getting the Mecha, we mentioned him earlier. Great podcast, great guy. I was listening to what he said in the overall arc, and I feel as though right now MHA has this identity issue because you can see the influences from Western culture, Western superhero culture in its villains. You can see that in Stain. You can see that in Chisaki, that big ideology base where as a viewer, they're villains, but are they really? Like, are they really? They're saying things that necessarily make sense. Yeah. Stain saying, "I don't want fake heroes. I want real heroes." He never went after All Might because he wouldn't do that. Right. He wouldn't go after All Might because he saw All Might as the perfect hero. We saw Chisaki saying, "I want to go back to a time where it was." Where power was based on strength of your will and your determination, not just on who has the strongest quirk. You know what I'm saying? So they have this whole what's the word? This whole not diatribe, but like this whole complexity to him.
Yeah.
Where now we have Deku. Deku's thinking more about Night Eye died. Da, da, da. He's like, I feel like we don't have that internal character development where we don't have any of these characters questioning the system, and I feel like that would add that depth to my hero that we really need, because right now it's fit. In the beginning it felt like, okay, this is like Deku's my Superman, but now I'm like, Deku's my Goku. Like at the end of the day, he's just going to keep doing what he's doing. Like you're not going to think about it. Like he just want, like at this point he just want to train and get stronger.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
He's not thinking, oh wow, how does this affect the world as a whole? How can I actually be the best hero for everyone, including the villains? And I'm not saying he should become friends with them. I still like how he throw hands, but I feel like it should be more as a why aren't these heroes thinking at this point? Why are these villains coming up?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like they're just thinking, oh, we just got kick ass. Not thinking, how can we be better heroes so this doesn't happen again?
That's a great point, man. Because because like they started to understand overhaul like later, but like you said, that's leaving me speechless, because you're right. They're just kind of doing shit because somebody is going against the grain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like you just going against the culture. You going against the society. So we got to kick your ass.
Exactly. We got to stop you. But they don't get the whys. And I think the whys are going to start to die with this whole League of Villain thing. Like I think the League of Villains are just about to be just villains just for villain's sakes, like we talked about earlier. Like, damn.
But and like the thing is, like you have to talk about, like you think about when they do stuff, like we have the episode where the last two episodes where they go over the part where they go and take Chisaki's arms or whatever.
Yeah.
We have that part where the guy in the front seat of the Toad, whatever that man's name is, he's like, "Is this really what Stain would want me to do?"
Exactly.
Like, you have that question, and the thing is, I like that the villains have that, Spinner, that's what his name is. The villains have that internal monologue. Like a lot of them became villains because of Stain. You know what I'm saying? Like that, and you could say like in a lot of heroes became all might, but they don't have that idea where they're following the ideology to a T. They're still thinking, oh wait, what would Stain want me to do? Like, and I just don't feel like the heroes are having that. And I mean, you see it in like Western culture, like the Flash. The Flash be cool with all his villains.
Yep.
I remember that one animated episode where he was sitting in the bar with whatever that with the crazy dude that's like a fake Joker, like
the trickster.
Trickster. He's like, you on your meds again? Like he's sitting there talking to him. But like that's how you be a hero. Like that's how you really a hero. Like you trying to help. You're trying to help. Yeah, like not say become friends with your villains, but you think about why are they villains. You have the same thing with Spider-Man. Like, and that's shown throughout his character in every iteration where he just doesn't want to beat the villain. He wants to figure out a way to stop villains from being a thing.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? But we don't see that in My Hero, and I feel like that's what's really dragging the show for a lot of people. It's just become shonen. Like that's what it is.
Tell what you think, because I know you're the manga reader.
He over there.
I can't say nothing.
You ain't trying to spoil us. I get you.
Yeah, because the thing is y'all bringing up a lot of good points, and there's things that I could say, but I can't be that guy. Because the thing is that if I'm being completely honest, my favorite manga of all time is Twin Star Exorcist. My number 2 is Promised Neverland, and my number 3 manga of all time is My Hero Academia. And My Hero Academia is I love that shit. It's fire. My Hero Academia has a lot of great things in it, especially coming in the future. And that's kind of why I said this season is progressing a lot faster than I thought it would, because there's some stuff, there's some shit that pops off that just kind of like, oh, really? Yeah. And it's going a little bit faster. I just don't want to bring it up because we might have to bring this up in another collaboration in the future where we say, remember when we talked about this? Because
this man got the cheat codes. He's holding
up.
Back. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy because I
don't want to bring it up. I'd rather.
It makes sense.
I'd rather let this settle and sink in.
Okay, I respect that.
You got me excited.
I know.
Now I'm looking forward to the season.
Now we about to get what we want, Aaron. We about to get what we want.
I'm gonna come back on here and be like, all right, Telly's, I lied. I didn't know what was gonna happen next.
Same. We about to be wrong than the motherfucker.
I ain't gonna say all that because the thing is that I love what you guys said though, right? Is that the villains have, I would say, a better moral compass than the heroes. Like they have an actual conscience and morality to them where they're saying that there's something wrong with the system, like you said. And we're gonna see some more of that in this season. And I'm just super fucking hyped because you guys just made me so hyped. I was already hyped about what's happening next. I was already hyped about it, and it's just going to be more of that, and it's going to be better. And I think every time it's going to send that message, but there's a different knock to that message every time, right? Like, so All For One had his message. Shigaraki had his message. Hero Killer had his message. Shizuki had his message.
What's Shigaraki's message? Because I don't remember.
Yeah, that's my question too. I still don't remember Shiggy's message. What's he? Oh my god!
For the podcast listeners, Taylor just hit us with the eyebrows because he knows, but he ain't trying to spoil
He didn't mean to say that. He said that by accident. He was like, "Oh, nah, I said Shiggy. I ain't mean to say Shiggy."
The thing is that Shigaraki has a message. We're not gonna get that yet, but as if you've already seen anime Twitter, you know there's a My Villain Academia arc.
Which I'm really looking forward to because that's a rip straight off of Western.
Exactly.
It starts with Shigaraki backstory. That's it.
Okay. Now I'm down for that.
I honestly think it was kind of the most impactful backstory I've actually seen in the manga so far.
Let's go. I'm down for that.
And I just think that it's gonna be beloved by everyone because it's 100%. I think of manga that blew up. Like people loved My Villain Academia. It's a whole season of villains. Like I don't think anyone can hate that. And what we saw, the one thing that got me super hype about this episode was we saw Gigantomachia.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, that was wild. I did not expect that.
Yeah. Gigantomachia is, you don't even understand what he really is.
Oh shit.
Like they said it in this episode that he is the only one other than Shigaraki that was brought up by
All For One. Wait.
All For One.
All For One.
Yeah. All For One. He's the only one other than Shigaraki who was brought up by All For One. And he is on a whole nother level. Yeah. And he is nothing like anything you've seen before. And you can tell just from looking at him.
I mean, I hope fucking Gran Torino is alive.
Yeah, Gran Torino was.
I mean, he's alive. He talks at the end like he said we got Warp Gate, but I don't know how we left the big man.
Exactly.
Like, I don't even know we really won this one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm just. You guys honestly have made me so hyped to see your reactions when it comes.
Too now.
I need y'all to at me when this shit get here because it's about to be live. I'm so hyped for it.
I'm ready.
When I saw that cover for the My Villain Academia. And it said it takes only like the famous saying from Deadpool and from Batman.
Yep.
All it takes is like one day or something like that. I was like, oh my gosh! Like when I seen that, I was like, okay, this is different.
So are we about to get that this season? Is that what? Are we about to get that this season?
We're not getting My Villain Academia this season. I'm
hearing season 5.
Yeah, I would say probably season 5, because looking at the progression of this season. It's very plausible that could happen. And then it's just, it's very possible.
I wonder if they're going to pull some George R.R. Martin shit and like have the show catch up to the manga and then we all be at the same place. Like the anime watchers and the manga readers.
I sincerely hope not.
You'll be salty.
Yeah, bro.
You'll be mad.
I don't see. I feel like after this season, we'll probably get about either winter again, or spring 21. That's what I'm feeling. Probably
that's probably right. I think it would be winter for sure, though.
Yeah, I feel like winter 21 again. Mm-hmm. Depending, because y'all heard about the 10 movies in the next 10 years type thing. So
yeah, if they love us, they'll give us something in September, right?
Straight up.
That's facts. That's
when the big fall season of anime come through, and
that's what I'm saying.
Honestly, actually, I lied. Please don't be September. Please.
Why?
Shoot.
Game.
So many, see, Polo right in my mind. All the games coming out in September. I would be behind as shit on goddamn anime.
Oh my god,
Cyberpunk, man. Oh man, my life is over.
They did
Marvel's Avengers.
Yep, Marvel's Avengers. It's about to be wild.
And there's one more that got pushed back too that I'm looking forward to. I can't remember.
Dying Light 2. We don't even know when that's coming.
Dying Light 2, yeah.
I fuck with
my
Dying Light, the
gosh.
first one. It was wild. All right, man. I think that'll be a wrap for episode 33 of Mic Check Waifu. I want to thank the lost homie himself, Aran, for joining us today. This was a great episode, man. I had a lot of fun.
Thank y'all for having me, man. I love y'all podcast, and I'm glad I can be here.
Appreciate it. We can't wait to be on Black Anime, man.
Ooh, I can't wait for y'all to be on it either.
It's about to be lit. It's about to be lit. And I guess I'm at Polo Bornfly on Twitter.
I'm at King Teliano.
Hit Black Anime up at BLXXKANIME Black Anime. You already know. You want to follow me at The Lost Homie at _ The Lost Homie.
Hey, we rock with y'all. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
You gotta do it right, Polo. You gotta do it right.
Mic check. We out. Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
My sweet waifu.
Is that you?